Change has come. It's at the door. Everything that was true isn't true anymore. In our hands is a broken crown, and the wars that we lose mean freedom now. Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Let's dance into battle, start a revolution, turn the heartbreak into evolution. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, from the ashes. Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Keep marching on. 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 Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Every ending is a chance. Every ending is a chance to begin again.
The plan for living life, playing the game of life. Rules to the game of life. You will receive a body. You will learn lessons. There are no mistakes, only lessons. A lesson will be repeated until it is learned. Learning lessons does not end. There is no better than here. Others are merely mirrors of you. What you make of your life is up to you. Life is exactly what you think it is. Your answers lie inside you. You will forget all of this. You can remember it whenever you want. Mastering ourselves, being our best selves. My power, my control. Mind, body, soul, which is thoughts, wills, the things you say, and emotions. Principles: learn, grow, teach, help. Foundation: love, health, wealth, happiness. Rules: respectful, safe, responsible. Being a champion, one day at a time. Having accountability, accept responsibility for actions and performance. Culture, living our values, mastering ourselves, body, mind, soul. Excellence, being our best selves by efficiency and productivity. Leveling up in life, showing up for yourself, focus on yourself, core values, decisions, goals, and behavior. Live by, no excuses, take ownership, empower yourself to do better and be more for you. Many are here to help us be the best version of ourselves through learning and development. 2, I'm willing to do the work and you are willing to do the work. The first step to empowering you is creating a structure that helps you eliminate excuses through clarity of responsibility and process. Being a champion to create winning is by having a desire to be the best version of yourself and empowering you to do so daily. Having a better world that is a champion world is that it takes all of us. Everything is energy, vibration, and frequency, which is inside of us all and all around us. What is your energy? Low vibration or high vibration? Low vibration. Empathy, victim, helplessness, blame, negative self-talk, worry, hatred, anger, fear. High vibration. Hopefulness, courage, acceptance, happiness, self-love, gratitude, positive self-talk, trust, knowledge, abundance, forgiveness, unconditional love. Mastering ourselves. Lust, intense desire or craving, greed, excessive selfish desire. Gluttony, excessive consumption. Pride, excessive self-importance. Sloth, laziness, empathy. Envy, desiring what someone else has. Wrath, extreme anger. The unseen laws, spiritual laws you must respect. Core unseen laws. Law of reciprocity, which what you send out, energy, thoughts, actions, returns amplified. Law of authority. Spirits only respect those who know who they are. If you're confused, they dominate. Law of resonance. You attract what matches your vibration. Purity equals clear outcomes. Law of timing. Some doors open only in divine timing. Forcing it equals punishment or delay. Law of spiritual debt. Every lie, scam, or shortcut leaves a karmic invoice until it's paid by pain or repentance. It blocks flow. Law of access. Sharing sacred things with unworthy people gives dark forces access to you. Guard your spiritual intimacy. Law of sacred exchange. Don't ask for something from spirit world without giving something. Prayers, food, fire, service, truth. Law of hidden eyes. Even when no one is watching, you are seen. All thoughts and deeds echo in the spirit realms. Everyone will get exactly what they choose. 3D earth. Fear, division, anger, control, hate, AI. 5D earth. Love, unity, peace, freedom, healing, consciousness. This is the great awakening. I don't think people realize how much strength it takes to pull your own self out of a dark place mentally. If you did that today or any day, I'm proud of you. Welcome, I'm Alisha Quinn, and today we are going to continue talking about New Earth and the 5D and like, what is this thing? Truly doing inner work and healing, searching for those answers, which I've done, and knowing who I am and that I have ascended before. I came here to help the collective consciousness heal and shift. And it's just taking one day at a time, coming back to being in the moment, being in the present, being in the world, but not a part of it, not giving it my energy or my thoughts, and mastering the flesh, mastering myself because no one else is going to do it for me. Body, mind, soul, that includes my emotions, responding instead of reacting, and transcending those energies. You know, when you feel guilt over something and getting to the root of it and transcending it, learning the lesson and healing and growing. Truly. And that's the journey that I have been on. I chose to go on it. I came here for this, the ascension of humanity, and to go into this new world, this 5D. And so, it's very interesting going on this journey and, really opening your eyes to a whole bunch of stuff and finding out that you're the problem, me, all those, thoughts that I had about all these, terrible things, the things I put into my mind, all those fears and experiencing them and living them out. And that truly, comes to a point to continue going through those cycles or stopping them and breaking them because no one else is going to do it for me. No one else will transcend my energy. I have to do it. And so I, at one point, really came to if I thought I could do it, if I said I could do this, then do it and get it done. And so, sometimes we have to fall to rise up, kind of like that child who is learning to walk. The child doesn't just get up and start walking. It, holds on to things, holds on to hands, gets help, right? Taking those little baby steps. And then they take a couple steps, right? All on their own. And then they take more steps on their own. They're able to go from the couch to the table kind of thing, right? And then all of a sudden they're running around, right? It's just like the doorknobs too, You have to eventually put stuff on the doorknobs on some kids because they'll, be trying to get outside. But, that's just part of growing and learning and evolving and having our human experience to transcend the energies, to have the human experience, to feel those emotions and transcend them into the light, into the gratitude, into the love, into the wisdom and knowledge. And so, just really, going through all that and coming to really look for those answers within myself and really evaluating it. And, the thing is that there ain't going to be anybody's journey who is like mine. And the other person, their journey is going to be completely different, you know? And there's going to be things that some people will say, "Oh yeah, I know what that's like. I've had that experience." And truly coming to even accepting that by creating that peace and that unity, detaching from the world, detaching from people, places, and things, connecting with it, connecting with myself and this body, that I'm just here having this experience, and it's my experience, and I have to transcend those energies. Nobody's going to do it for me. And, you know, letting go of people, that's been one of the hardest things, because we love people. We love them. We love our family. We love our friends. We love some of the organizations that we're a part of. But truly letting go, that sometimes you have a friend move away. You just hang on to that relationship when maybe that's just a sign that it's time to let it go. Let them move on their journey, and you move forward on yours, and figure out what you learned and grew from it. And sometimes, nowadays we can remain in contact, and maybe that just changes the relationship some, which brings a whole new learning experience for both of them. And we have to judge that for ourselves, for our growth, for who we are. And not letting anyone hold us back. And that's the thing, is that things do serve us a purpose, but letting it go, Kind of like that woman on the last one I did with the bracelet that she lost, right? And she just said, "Okay, I guess it's time to let it go." Material is material, which comes and goes. And I've really had to learn that lesson myself a couple of times, walking away and letting things go. And it's not easy sometimes, it's like, especially when I left Washington State, and I was like, I left all this stuff over there. But you know what? Eventually, you get more stuff, comes and goes. Sometimes those things that you end up gaining at that time, eventually, you get a new table, whatever it is, your phone, eventually you get a new phone, or, whatever next comes out, who knows? But really coming to letting those things go and not being attached to them. And that is truly part of this ascension and going to the new earth and changing our perspectives of things. And truly, from the information that I've gotten, because we have it within us, how would a divine being experience this world? How would the divine experience this world? If everything belongs to us, our thoughts, our creation, it belongs to us, should we live a luxurious life? But it's not necessarily about that. Like, how do you want to experience that? Do you want to enjoy the experience? Or do you want to be griping and complaining that you still don't have enough? And that's the thing, is finding that abundance at where you're at. And when I truly looked at that, it was like, wow, becoming grateful for those little things, truly those little things, and not being attached to the stuff, really. And when you truly start looking into mystics and uh stoics or whatever, I've been listening to some stuff on that, but you know, purposely making yourself uncomfortable, purposely doing it, making the shower cold instead of enjoying the heat of it, minimizing our consumption. And, I truly do come to find that there is nothing wrong with having material things, but how hard are we holding on to it and attached to it that, I mean, some people just go off the hinges if they can't find their phone, right? And truly, my experience this last week when I lost my earbud, that is like, oh, all right, well, I do have other options that I could use. I did really like those ones, like, well, I guess, maybe it's time to get something new, maybe something new. I can use what I have for now, but then I ended up getting it back. Maybe I got it back because I didn't fret over and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I lost it. And, and sometimes we do that. What am I gonna do? Yeah. And just, coming to having a calmer spirit and just surrendering to life and the experience and going with the flow and working on that inner self, how am I gonna react to this? Is it gonna be the end of the world for me? Or, let it go and just be like, okay, well, thing is, things come and go. They truly do. And people come and go as well. And that's what I've really come down to, is looking at everything serves a purpose. Everyone serves a purpose, good or bad. And life is about learning and growing and teaching and helping. And when we're stuck and being blindsided because we're like complaining about life, I always get hurt, da da da. And then you got another situation coming up. And when we truly come to face ourselves and see that it's us that I need to change, that it's me, that out here is not going to change unless I change from within, that's how we get to the new earth, that 5D, which for me, the 5D is the spiritual, that part that says, I am a part of creating this. This is a part of what I'm creating for my reality and my experience. This is going on because of my inner self, my inner self. What is that? And learning those lessons. And kids have a big way of learning, teaching us some lessons. They truly do. And that's what I've really come down with getting my children back, is that I am their teacher and their helper, and they are my teachers and my helpers.
that we are three souls, and we each have our own journeys, our own learning lessons, and our own experiences. Some of those experiences are together, but some of them are not. I do not go where my daughter goes all the time. I do not go where my son goes all the time. I go where Alisha goes, my own journey, my own experiences. And they don't go to some of the places I go and experience some of the things I've experienced. And so, really coming to master the flesh, having accountability, responsibility for your life, for your mind, for your body, and making those changes. And as I change, this changes, I watch it, I see it happen. And so it does reflect. It is a mirror. It does reflect that, when I can talk to someone about something I couldn't talk to them about a couple years ago, that's growth. That's change right there. And sometimes we have to go down that dark path to transcend the energies, to detach, to let go, and inner reflect, become self-aware, more and more self-aware. And, I have to do it. There's things I've gone through that's like, why am I going through this? Why is this happening? Because it's not happening to me, it's happening for me, and I have to figure out why. And when you have a lot of trauma, there's a lot of trauma stuff that happens. I've even, this year have had to come to learn my own abandonment issues and self-abandonment. That's a big one right there. So holding those boundaries that I set in place and actually doing it, because no one is going to do it for me. Nobody's going to do it for me. Nobody's going to save me from myself. I chose to come here. I chose to learn the lessons. I chose to be the one to overcome certain things, and nobody's going to do it for me. I'm the one who has to do it. And nobody's going to make me happy. I got to find that inner happiness. Nobody's going to create peace for me. I got to create that peace within me, that fulfillment. And truly, from everything that I have looked at and learned, that is how we get to the new earth. And it is a frequency, it is that vibration of a different perspective of the world. The world can either be on fire and bad and, more to complain about, or look at the good, look at the beauty of it. And, I used to say these things to some degree, but then, I was, irritated and worried and living in fear, and it makes a big difference of changing yourself, being that identity, because you are only who you think you are, and that's the truth of it. And when you don't think you're good enough and all these different things, those are things for us to change and work on ourselves, to love ourselves, because we can't love nobody more than we love ourselves, and that's true. We can't even love God more than us, and God is within us. So loving ourselves and balancing the nervous system, that's a big one. That's been a big one for me to learn about regulating and balancing that nervous system and reconnecting connecting with my body instead of escaping, when you're having, and I've really, really come down to that. Like, okay, I got kids, so, sometimes they're like, all right, I'm feeling irritated, and that's okay to feel irritated. Okay. Do I need to take action? Is there something I need to do here? And, really regulating myself, not taking it out on my kid that I'm irritated. That's blame shifting, blaming. And that's a big thing, that I really came to learn too, was that blaming, and so there's a lot of growth and a lot of healing that I've definitely gone through to, come to the point that I'm at and creating that new earth within me because it comes from within. Having the eyes of peace with everyone, that you're where you're at on your journey. I know there's a man who lives where I live, and this is just an example. And he's a generational curse breaker. We talked a little bit about breaking generational curses, and he is, on that path and things. And he has a habit of something. And I've seen that he's had the habit for quite some time. Smoking, But that is the habit that he can only break and overcome. He's got to do it. He's got to find it within him to do such a thing. But the thing is that he's just where he's at. He's on his own journey, his own path, and I don't know what else he's dealing with. And his journey and his path is his. And just having that peace that he's just a character in my story, in my background here. Just a man that, ends up outside, smoking or whatever. And he's on his own journey, having his own experiences. They have nothing to do with me. I don't need to sit here and be like, oh my God, that guy's out there smoking again. It's not my problem. I got my own stuff that I got to deal with. And that's really what it comes down to, is not being that judgmental person about other people. That they got their own battles, their own cross to bear. That has nothing to do with me. Now, maybe I come across them. Maybe I end up in a conversation with them where I share something that might inspire them. Just like I had this man last year who told me that he ate meat and veggies for a year, and he was 360 pounds, and he went down to 180. Well, he went back to his old eating habits, and he had gained 40 pounds. Now, when I walked away from that, I asked myself, what did I learn from that? And my learning lesson from that was, don't go back. Don't go back to habits that I break. Truly make that change. Now, to be honest with you, there are some habits that I kind of went back to, and that's a learning lesson right there. Because then I've had to work my way back out of those certain habits. Because I want to make healthier habits and healthier changes. And that's part of our ascension and new earth and, taking ownership and responsibility over our bodies. So I took that learning lesson, and it was funny because I ended up back at that store another time where I told him, I said, the last time I was in here, you gave me a message. And I told him, don't go back, And, I could see that he knows, he doesn't know, but it's his battle. That's his battle that he has to deal with. I have my own battles. Now, maybe it's a similar battle that, hey, you know what? He really taught me something there. You don't go back and truly make the changes of those healthier habits. And so it's within everybody to do it. But some of us just live in such darkness as well. But to get to new earth, we have to transcend the energies and let go. People hold on to all this baggage throughout their whole life. And I used to be a Christian and go to church every Sunday, and it was like, oh, don't bring, you know, don't go to bed on your wrath. Don't bring your problems into the next day. But I did, for all these years, oh, this and this and that happened and blah, 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 right? And you just keep on dragging it in every single day of your life. And then you accumulate more and more and more and more stuff. It's exhausting. It truly is. Oh, 30 years ago, somebody did this and that to me. And oh, 20 years ago, I did this and I'm guilty. And you're dragging all that stuff instead of saying, you know what? This is what I learned from that. And transcend it and say, you know what? I'm glad I learned that learning lesson, you know? And that's up to each and every one of us. We are the ones responsible for our energy, whether we like it or not. And energy does not die. So your body might come to a point where it cannot go on anymore, but that energy will go into a whole nother life with you. You will have to be put back into that same energy. And that's why as you raise up your frequency, and from what I have learned and heard is the heart chakra, having that heart, having that like Christ consciousness, looking at, really looking at things from the eyes of spirit, that we are all one. We are all a soul having its own experiences. And, some we have to have here to suffer and to show us, show us. I don't want to end up like that, that drunk homeless man. For the alcoholic who says, if I don't change, I'm going to be like that in 6 months, Time for a change. And so we need those people there, and they play their part there, and they get that experience, but they will have to go into another life. So not everybody will go to New Earth. Not everyone will go to the 5D. Not everyone can go up to see a different perspective of themselves, of their own journey, of their experiences, and others being attached. And truly, some souls love to experience the physical realm. And so that's their choice and their journey. And, when you look at it from that perspective, is that there is a lot to experience, And I've experienced a lot in my journey. I once was a party girl, then I was a Christian, and, conspiracy theorist, and I was a Democrat, and then I was a Republican, and, I've had all kinds of different jobs. and having those experiences. There's a lot to experience. So, but for me to grow, for me to raise up my frequency and my vibration, I have to let people and places and things go. It's just something that we have to do on this journey. And it can be one of the most difficult things, letting go of what, happened to us when we were a child, letting go of what friends did to us and romantic relationships or sexual relationships that we had with people and what they did and on and on. We have to let all that stuff go. And what I've truly come to find is truly coming back to the present. That's part of bringing your power back to yourself and your energy. And as that goes on day after day, when you're not like, oh, 20 years ago this happened, or what's going to happen down the road and this and that, and you really, really come down to today, that brings our power back to us in our life to come to that point where we can instantaneously manifest that, whatever that may be. And, Jesus did it, right? They were like, we don't have enough, whatever it was. It's a story. It's just a story. Whether he had fish and bread, doesn't matter. It's a story. And the people were in need to eat, and he turned, that stuff into enough to feed thousands. And it happened a couple of times, right? Those miracles, right? And really coming even into the spiritual gifts, right? Now, I talked on the last one about, coming to that spiritual gift of solitude, being happy within my own self and my own company and my fulfillment within myself, that I don't need someone else. And that's part of this journey as well, is that, no, you are a divine being. And that's truly a lesson that I have come to find, that I felt that I needed these people. I needed the church and stuff like that. And then when I come to find that I didn't need any of it. I didn't need any of it. Connecting with myself and spirit. And spirit always provides. If it's part of me and the experience, if it's the divine experience itself here, there's nothing else that I need, because it will be provided for me. And maybe I have to learn that lesson of, letting something go so that I can grow, making room in that space to have something new to help me to evolve. And so everything's temporary. Everything's temporary in the physical. And when we truly detach from it all and just experience and being right here is all that matters. And right here and right now, I have everything that I truly need, plus some, really. And so that getting rid of that lack mindset. And so it's amazing that sometimes people have so much junk in their place, but then they're in lack, you know? I don't have enough, you know, this or that, right? And just even like the fear and the worry over, you know, someone coming in my place or doing something to me when I can protect myself energetically with my own thoughts, my own energy. And so, truly going into the new earth and that 5D, the Christ consciousness, the rise of consciousness, it all happens within. Out here changes all the time. It always is changing. They're fixing a road over here, a new place is being built over here, and that will continue to happen. And as we change, this out here will change. You know, if we come to that point where we're like, nope, you know, everyone's in unison that, hey, you know what? And, you know, that's the thing is that this is a thing that I do not believe by any means is just going to fall away. So don't have any fear, like, oh, I gotta do all this and I could get to here, you know? As you raise up your frequency, that's gonna help your body and your energy. And keep on going. Keep on going. As far as you can on this journey, it's never too late to start, to let go and change your energy and to heal. And as you do that, then you can expand on that and learn something new and, you know, go through that. And, you know, I've come to that point where it's like, I want to learn about crystals, you know? Crystals can absorb energy and amplify energy. And now I'm like, well, now I got to learn about them. Well, you know what? You just take one day at a time, start learning about it. And, you know, one day I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, I know this and that. And, you know, just like with anything else that we learn. And that's what I tell people, you know, when you're going to learn how to drive a car, yeah, you know, you're uncomfortable. You're uncomfortable. You don't know what you're doing, you know, like, all right, you know, but then one day you get in and you're like, doop, doop, you know, you're on your way and you do everything automatically because you programmed yourself, you know, and that's the thing about taking your power back and programming yourself for what you want and who you want to be and having the experience that you want to be. And so, want to have. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some videos that share more about the new Earth and 5D.
I got a couple questions for you, all right? So let's do an activity together. I want you to think about the future version of you, the version that you're dying to become, all right? You got them in your head? Now I got a list of questions for you. What time would they be waking up? Would they be sleeping in? No, they'd be grinding, right? Let's say 5 a.m. What would they eat? Would they be eating junk? No, they'd be eating well. Organic foods, very good foods. What would they invest in? Better food? Better gym memberships? Mentorships? They'd be reading. They'd be gaining knowledge. They'd be spending things that better their life. They wouldn't be trying to play it safe or cheapskating everything, right? Next question. Who would be in their phone? Would your current partner be in that phone? Yes? Would your ex? I know some of you. No! Your future version of you does not have your ex in their phone, okay? You know. Who's your future version with? Who are they with? And if you don't have that person yet, you'll attract them. Just step into that version. Anyway, what would their environment look like? Would it be cluttered? Would you be pushing clothes under the bed? Would you be pushing clothes in the closet? No. Future version of you? Clean. Clean. What would they prioritize? Would they prioritize scrolling? Video games? Hanging out with losers? Drinking on the weekends? And surrounding themselves with toxic friends. These are all toxic frequencies. They're only surrounding themselves with positive frequencies. Next question. Again, the next question has to do with people. Who would they be surrounding themselves with? Would they be ignoring their intuition? That you know that person's not good for you, but you're keeping them in your life because you don't want to be alone. Ooh, you gotta ask yourself these questions. Are you surrounding yourself with people that inspire you, that you would trade places with? Are you surrounding yourself with mentors? People that encourage you? People that support your dreams? People that don't call you crazy, but they're like, you go. Yeah? Well, you gotta surround yourself. You have to ask yourself these questions, because if you say no to any of these questions, like, I don't know, you need to step into that version of you. That version of you exists right as we speak, and she's waiting for you. He's waiting for you. The sooner that you are you, the people that are looking for you, the money that's looking for you, the house that's looking for you, whatever it is, will find you.
Well, I thought that was a good video to have there, that asking yourself those questions, and who is it that I would be, my highest self, who is it, and what would they be doing? How would they be managing their life and prioritizing themselves? And those are the questions that we individually have to ask of, what is it that is going to serve my highest purpose and my highest good? And only we can decide what that is and truly make those changes and step into it. Because if we don't have what we want to have, it just means we haven't stepped into the energy to have it. And sometimes it's not being even attached to it, becoming that identity even, identity of, this is the experience that I want to have. This is who I am, and be that person, I got this great song, and I picked a different song for this one, but it's a great song, and I will share it at a later time. But like, who would you be? Would you wake up with purpose? Would you be motivated? Would you be lazy and complaining about life? If you were that version of yourself that you want to be. And I do believe that's part of it, because, part of this journey is accepting that this is a human experience that we're having. And we have the power and the choice, the free will, for it to be bad or for it to be good. And it's all from within us. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and share another video.
When you hold on to things like anger, resentment, and hatred, you energetically stay tied to old earth. Old earth is based upon fear, judgment, and separation. It is at a much lower vibration and frequency. And when you hold on to these types of things, you also lower your vibration and frequency, which literally blocks you from ascending to new earth. And until you are able to let go of these things, you will continuously keep incarnating back on to old earth, and you get stuck in one big karmic loop. If you want to move to new earth, you have to allow yourself to let go of these things. When you allow yourself to forgive anyone that has hurt betrayed, or traumatized you. What you're ultimately doing is allowing yourself to find love within you. When you find love within yourself, you increase your vibration and frequency, which ultimately allows you to ascend to the frequency of New Earth. When you forgive, you aren't forgiving someone because they deserve it. You're forgiving because you deserve your freedom. So find forgiveness if you want to ascend and start to access the freedom of New Earth.
Well, I thought what he shared was very good, and truly what I have come to understand myself. And, just, all that stuff, we hang on to, and this person hurt me, and this person, and we hang on to it, and we don't truly forgive. I mean, I was in the church and I thought I forgave, but then I'm like the next person, this happened to me, that happened to me. And when you come to know like your body and everything, like when you're talking about that and you're hanging on to it still, you're experiencing it still. You haven't transcended the energies from it. You're like reliving what happened to you. And so truly coming that, hey, you know what? I forgive because I deserve to let it go and have that forgiveness. And however I choose to do that is my choice, my free will, And I really came to look at like, what did I learn from this? Even sometimes about myself, what did I truly come to learn from what happened here, from this experience? And, I had to evaluate those things for myself and find those answers for myself to come to have that, forgiveness and letting go of the resentments and even, some things of myself and some of the things that I did and that I behaved in, right? Because, when people do stuff to us, then we react to it. And then, you're like, even sometimes when we say things and, I shouldn't have said that. And you're like in this regret of, so, I just take it that I'm where I'm at and I'm growing and I've, said everything that I meant to say, living by that script that the divine has orchestrated for me and that it all serves a purpose, because sometimes, somebody needs to learn one lesson or another, who knows? And so just being, happy within myself. You know what? Alisha sometimes is a badass, She has been. But sometimes she's been really nice and kind too, But, finding that inner peace and just letting go of those energies, the fear, the worry, the negative programmings, that helps us to get to that new earth instead of being karmically looped in, going back to the old earth system of things. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at another video.
You're waking up. You're starting to see past all the illusion. You're starting to see that everything that has been created in our society was created to keep you asleep. It was created to disconnect you from your power. You see it in the media. You see it in the schools. You see it in the food industry. You see it in the pharmaceutical industry. You see it everywhere. You see people at the grocery store, gyms, or just when you're driving by them asleep, and you see the part of their soul that is ready to wake up. You feel within you that there is more. There is something something more for you here. You know that you are not meant to live in the way that your family did, your grandparents did. You know that you are here to create change. You can feel it. You feel that you are ready to stop living in fear, and you are ready to start living in love. You're ready to start living in a way that you know God put you here for. You may not know what it is, you may not know how you're meant to do it, but you know inside that you are meant to. Well, congratulations, my friend. You are awakening to your true divine power, to your true divine calling. Now, it may seem like the hardest thing that you will ever do. It may seem like everything in your life is going to break and crumble, and that is the beauty of it all. Everything that is not leading you towards the life that you are deserving of must go. And the beauty of it all is, as you let it go, that is where you will find the true you. So follow that calling, my friend. Lean into it, trust, and have unwavering faith in it. The life that you get to live by following that is beyond your wildest dreams. So come join me, come join us. We're ready for you.
Well, truly, to get to New Earth, we have to let go of the old things and the people that are not going on the journey with us. And, you know, it can really seem like the hardest thing, but, distance, creates something, when you just pull away and detach, from those people and things, I think my former husband used to say that, being apart doesn't create that closeness, right? See, when you're apart, you get further and further apart. And that's true right there. Some don't choose to go on that road, and some don't choose to go on that timeline. And that is part of the process that we have to come to choose ourselves, that some are just not meant to go with us on that journey. And loving them and setting them free, that they are free to live life as they choose. And if they want to stay where they're at and continue to have those experiences, that they're free to do so. And truly, I come to find that they do serve a purpose still, But for me and my soul to grow and to evolve and go to the new earth and the frequency there, I had to choose myself. And that's when it really comes down to is choosing ourselves and choosing our own journeys, our own souls even, to have things better for ourselves, for our experience and journey here, and to be who it is that not only we would want to be, but how about the divine? I used to always say that too. Well, guess what? I woke up to a lot of things about myself and my life, and I went down a different path. And I've had to let a lot of those people, places, and things go so that it can make space for me to go to a higher vibration, a higher dimension. And all I know is nothing will ever be the same, ever. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at another video.
Only 1/3 of the population is going to make it to the new world. A lot of people keep saying like, oh, what is the new world? The new world is basically we're transitioning from this fake matrix, right? This physical being, like just this system is fucked up. In the new world, we'll have gardens, we'll have our land, we'll have peace, we'll have harmonies, we'll have our healing centers, right? We will have our own school systems, right? Women will once be working together again. We will go back to our villages. We will not need money. We will operate out of love. We will operate from the barter system. This is what the new world is. And like I literally, this is what I was told, like I said, by the higher beings in my astral realm, and that they needed me to assist with this, right? And so that's why I'm even on social media doing this, right? Because it's literally a part of my life purpose. So from what ancient texts say and from what my spirit tells me, only 1/3 of the population is going to make it in the new world. 1/3 is going to die, right? 1/3 is going to go crazy, right? And 1/3 is going to spiritually evolve enough to make it to the new world. You got to understand, a lot of people are not going to be able, vaxxed or jabbed or not, right? A lot of people are not going to be able to deprogram their mind and reprogram their mind for the new world, right? A lot of people have a hard time reprogramming their mind, so they're stuck in the matrix. They're stuck in this music system. They're stuck in the school system. They're stuck with these grocery stores. They're stuck with a mortgage. They're stuck with a car. They're stuck. They're stuck in their quote unquote good job. So a lot of beings, right, and humans will not make it to the new world, and this is just the facts, right? 1/3 is going to go insane. 1/3 is going to be unalive, and 1/3 is going to evolve. So the only way you are going to be able to make it to the new world is if you have a pure heart and if you're following the spiritual laws, which means not operating out of greed, not operating out of lust, keeping your sexual energy pure, because the sexual energy is the most powerful energy, the Kundalini energy. Keeping your body pure from poison, not being concerned with other people's business, not disturbing the peace. These are just keeping not like basically even like making littering, polluting the earth, polluting the water. These are all against the 42 laws of Maya. So if you're not going to be able to get with the spiritual laws and reprogram your mind and for the new world, you're going to either go crazy, right? And y'all gonna be the ones that zombies running around looking crazy as shit, trying to fucking fuck everybody else up, or you're going to be unalive, or you're going to spiritually evolve. And it has nothing to do with how much you know. It has nothing to do with your sexual orientation, right? I even seen some gay people in the new world in my astral realm, so it has nothing to do with that. This is all like judgments that people place upon people. It's about the pureness of your heart, the purity of your heart. Are you operating out of pure intentions? Are you following spiritual laws? Right? Are you here to evolve? Do you truly love yourself? Are you here?
Well, she shared some good information, and that is truly the information that I have gotten as well, was that it would be only 1/3 of people to make it to the new earth. 1/3 will go crazy, and 1/3 won't be able to make it. And so, it's vibrational for sure. And when we come down to my own reality, my own world, that there are whatever, if there's 8 billion people here, 8 billion worlds going on, that, we all have our own perspective of things as well. And that what's within us comes out. And so, those changes will happen for sure. We will see things change and evolve as humanity changes and evolves. And so these are not going to be things that necessarily change overnight. So I don't fret or concern if I'm not there, but it gives me a direction to go. And so all I can do is work on me and serve my purpose and have my journey and my experiences, work on my body, work on my mind, work on my soul. And my soul is guiding me. I am being guided for me, for my journey, for my experiences of what I need to do to change to get to that point. And so if not growing my own food yet or whatever, She talked about we grow our own food, right? But what are the choices that I'm making to have a healthier body instead of buying the junk food and the crap food, right? Buying healthier food for my body that, is going to lead down a path to where there may come that day where I grow my own food, or there'll be a community, things will change. And however things change is going to be how they change. But once we let go of things, like if people stop eating fast food, right? Which we really do know that isn't good for us. Fast food will go away. It will go away. And so everything is vibration and frequency. And when you come to timelines, even that some people are going to experience whatever it is that they are meant to experience, whatever they came here to experience. And, when their time has come to exit or whatever, it will exit. And, people losing their minds, well, maybe they need to lose them to get a new one, but, who knows? We'll just have to see how, things play out. But truly, when you separate to go down a new path, that you may or may not even become aware of that because you're focused on your self-awareness and working within you to create that kingdom of God from within you. And so you may not need to know everything that's going on out there. Minding your own business, right? She mentioned that. Minding your own business. This is what I have. This is what I'm responsible for. This is what I'm taking care of. And I'm working on me to learn, grow, and heal and evolve to get to that next stage, whatever that is for me on my journey. And everyone else has their own journeys to deal with. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at another video.
After a really low point, I finally decided to step into my higher self. You've heard people talk about 3D, 4D, 5D, like it's some kind of cosmic elevator for consciousness. But here's what they don't always tell you. You don't try to reach the 5D, you embody it. You become it. For instance, in the 3D, I was Joe Moody, who is limited by time, space, and matter. In the 5D, I became Joe Drummerboy and manifested a fitness club of the future, which has now served thousands. I never could have done that if I just stayed in the 3D realm. And so it wasn't from strategy, but from a state of being. Let's dive in. In the 3D, the struggle feels real because it is. This is the realm of the conscious mind, the world of time, space, and matter, where everything feels separate. You versus the bills, you versus time, you versus your own mind. It's survival, resistance, hustle. The mantra here is, I push, I pull, I endure. You try to change your outer world, but it keeps mirroring the same old frequency until you see the inner light. And that's where the 4D comes in. That's where we add the subconscious mind, the bridge realm. Something shifts. You realize, wait, maybe reality isn't fixed. Thoughts create waves. Emotions stir the ship. Time's not a straight line. It's a loop you can bend. Just ask the crow. The mantra here is, I ask, I feel, I reach. This is the space of questioning, healing, intention. You stop reacting and start creating. And then comes the moment you stop trying to get there and just be there. That's where the 5D happens. And 5D is the embodiment, the activation. This is the superconscious, your higher self, the soul. It's a realm where you can manifest really anything you want in the 3D. Meditation can be so powerful here. You assume your new role and that attracts your new life, not the other way around. This is the realm of embodying your higher self. The mantra here is, I am, I know, I create. In the 5D, you're not chasing anything. You're aligning with everything you already are. You are connected to Source because the Source is within you. And the dimensions aren't steps on a ladder. They're more like channels on the dial. The moment you stop striving to get there is the moment you realize you already are. So if you're done hustling in the 3D, follow for more and start getting ready to create from the frequency of 5.
Well, I thought that video was very insightful to align and embody and assume that you are already that person and embody that person, right? Are you going to stay in bed and complain about life, or are you going to love it and enjoy it and love yourself and love today? And, as you do that, as you love more, you get more to love, right? And so truly, co-creating the experience that you want to have on this journey in this realm, right? This realm, this reality that it bends to you. Time runs through you. And so just truly coming within that wisdom and knowledge that is experienced through me, through my vibration, by my frequency, by those thoughts, and truly coming to embodying that person that I want to be and to change. So I thought that was, it's just right in alignment with where I'm at, embodying, assuming that you are her, assuming that you already have it because you have it in the state of consciousness. You just have to align with it. And you're not going to align with that person if you're complaining and worrying and fretting. So we're going to go ahead and watch one more video.
So this is all about the great awakening that is happening on Earth and the great reset. This is what Dolores Cannon spoke about. This is what Bashar speaks about. This is what the greatest spiritual teachers, even the ones that have now passed on and died, have all been speaking about for years. Because this is, in my opinion, the most exciting time to be on Earth. Because it is a mass global awakening where people are starting to remember the truth of who they are. And so this means there is going to be great change, great reset. It is going to be a very potent, powerful time. I want to explain that it is going to be a timeline split. What does this mean? A timeline split is that understanding that this world isn't going to be all one piece. It's not that the world is going to all just be unified in peace, because every soul is on a different part of their journey. Every soul is on a different level of awareness. So in this world, we thrive on polarity, right? Yin and yang, black and white, sun and moon, salt and pepper, man, woman, everything has a polarity. Everything has a mirror effect of it. So what it is going to do is, as much as the old Earth, which is the world we're living in, that's very systemized, it's very controlled, it does not have the love for humanity. It's making us sicker. It's making humans more in a rat race, stuck in the matrix. All these things that humans are now awakening to and wanting to escape, that is going to get louder. But the polarized effect is that the new Earth is going to get louder. So people who are in the old Earth, they won't be aware of this new Earth, but it's an energy. Okay, it's a frequency that you can choose to tune into. When you start to live in this new Earth frequency, The universal laws that are coming down onto earth will be for your highest good. They will be for your highest excitement. They will be for you. Now, this is very hard for people to understand, but I have to share this, is that all that is of the old is not resonant anymore. The gifts, the potency, the whatever you have to offer to this world, your purpose, is something that can be activated. It doesn't need to be taught. So all these books, like, okay, so if you think about the world, it's moving into a digital age. It's moving into an age we've never seen before. If you think of the book like Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, all these like great books that we've been taught, they're beautiful and they have amazing teachings. But what I keep receiving in my meditations is that all this old information is not going to be resonant for what's going to happen on earth, because we are moving into an energy that is not supported by these old teachings, because those teachings were from a different dimension. They were from a different energy. So what this means is for new earth, right? Even when we look at like The Secret and Law of Attraction, like, yes, they work, but not in the way they used to. And what I mean by this is when we think of the earth, what has happened is it has moved from a third dimensional state to a fifth dimensional state. Third dimensional is thought alone, it's mind alone. Fifth dimensional is the heart vibration. It's the very core of Mother Earth. It is your solar plexus. It is your sacral, your creative juice, all those energies in your body. That is where the fifth dimensional energy responds. So my biggest advice for anyone watching is whatever lights you up in the slightest, if it's making music, if it is healing, if it is dancing, whatever you feel called to do on earth, the new earth will support you. So it's a very interesting thing. Like, yes, I believe the universe has our back, but it's not going to be supporting the old anymore. The more we try and do things the way they used to be, if we try and do our work the same way or raise our kids the same way, it's not going to be supported. And how you'll know you're in alignment with new earth energy is things will start to just activate and open for you on a scale that like I can't even believe in. Like, things will start activating for you, because right now on the planet, it's like there's light flares, like energies, new universal laws that are shooting down onto earth. And the souls that choose to connect to this new energy will be activated. They'll be awakened. They will be granted abundance and support. It, like, the doorways will just start opening up for you. And this is very hard for the mind to understand, because we've been living in a third dimensional world, which is of fear, which is of lack, which is of scarcity. And so we don't feel like we have sources that are looking after us. But what you need to understand is by you stepping into your fifth dimensional state, there is abundance. It is very much about breaking all the paradigms to do with money. It is about success. It is about health. It is about vibrancy, and it is about community. It used to be like Law of Attraction, The Secret, all these sort of things, like teaching you how to manifest. Now I want you to think of the universe as like a 5D energy. It is going to flood into your life when you start to embody, live, and breathe the new earth frequencies. You will be rewarded highly, immensely.
Well, I thought what she shared was very informative about New Earth, that New Earth is getting louder, and truly it is a vibration and frequency. And that, opening up those doorways, and when you think of a channel, right? All these channels, that you don't go from channel 20 to 40. You got to go to 21 and then 22. And so just as we change that frequency, that things will open up to us, and that it will be totally different. So just that things aren't going to be supported like they were on the old earth kind of thing. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how these changes happen and how things evolve. And I know that I got plenty of time here, and truly, I trust that whatever it is that I came here to do and experience, I will do that. And so, all I can do is take one day at a time and go from where I'm at and just keep growing, keep evolving, and keep learning, truly. And, master the flesh, master myself, taking care of my mind, body, spirit, soul, taking care of me and letting others have their journeys and their experiences and the free will to do such a thing, and just teaching and helping where I can. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this picture again. You, as members of the family of light, you are going to create a new earth that is going to be free. Can you imagine having that real freedom? But truly, that freedom is within us from the bondages and the limiting beliefs that we place upon ourselves, or sometimes have been placed upon us. And I've been breaking free from a lot of bondages and a lot of limiting beliefs. So we're going to go ahead and ask some questions. How do you know you're in 5D? Disrupted sleep, heightened intuition, deep emotional swings, a desire for isolation, and intense synchronicities. Are we living in 3D or 5D? Living 5D is a more feelings, heart, emotions led existence in which we create our reality. What does 5D world mean? Represents a shift in consciousness from fear-based 3D survival to a higher frequency state of love, unity, and heart-centered awareness. What does the 5D feel like? A heightened sense of empathy, feeling deeply for others, and understanding their struggles. So, truly, my conclusion truly is that I'm on the right path and the right journey to get to New Earth. And truly, I feel like I do live in a new world, a new Earth, because, I have come up to that place to see things differently, see different perspectives, detaching from the people, places, and things, and connecting with it, connecting that, this is here for me at this point in time to serve as purpose for me. And there will come a time when I have to let it go, and truly, surrendering, going with the flow, creating, co-creating my experience that I want to experience, the reality, bending it, and embodying that person and that light energy. It's an energy. Truly, it's a frequency of, having that love for others, having the joy and happiness and fulfillment, acceptance, accepting that I am who I am today. I am where I'm at. And today is all that matters. And that in 3 months, I'm going to be totally different because I'm continuing to grow and heal and evolve. And next year, it's going to be a different story, different thing going on. And that's the truth of it. And just truly living and embodying the frequency, that frequency of love and light, and just, learning and growing and teaching and helping. And that's what I've truly have come down to, that things are not just happening to me, they're happening for me. And coming to thriving in my life, we are thriving, having that abundance. And so we do not get to that new world and the 5D without going within and changing from within, changing our perspective, letting things go. And that's what I truly come down to, coming to that heart-centered, taking care of my mind, body, and spirit, soul, and connecting with my inner self, connecting with the divine spirit that's within me, and opening up those spiritual gifts, whatever they may be. Maybe just solitude, but, listening to that intuition as well. And so it's a lifelong journey, however long that is. And so I plan on continuing on however far I can get. And so it's all from within me and just transcending the energies and loving life, loving the experience, and having love and respect for all of life. All of life. The trees, the animals, the earth, all of life. Living, living the life, living the journey, living the experience. So having the human experience and loving it and truly coming to integrating that the ego mind, and integrating it. So, wherever this world takes us, the journey, the experience is ours. And everyone has their own perspective of things, and respecting that. Everyone has their own journey and their own experiences. And some are not going to come to see things how you see it or whatever. And that's okay. That's their journey, their experience, and where they're at. And that's not going to hold me back from speaking my truth and what I've come to find and discover for me on my journey. Don't have to agree with me with everything, and that's okay. You have your own journey, and I have mine, and I'm focused on me and working on me. Putting that work in and being that person, loving life, truly. So take what you can and learn and grow, heal, expand, and rise up. And so we're here for this change, and it is an exciting time to truly be here to see these changes happening and to go on this journey and to experience life with the ones that have been brought back to me to experience life with. And so we all have it within us to go on this path to the new earth, to make the changes within us, to let go of the fear, let go of the survival, let go of the lower vibrational conscious energies and ascend them, let go of the baggage, let go of all those things, all those hurts and resentments. We all have it within us. And so we're the ones who created the world that as it is, and we're the ones to change it and create that world of light. Balance those scales out some. And so it is just from within. There's a takeover, this takeover of the light. And it's from within us, waking up, that this out here is reflecting this. I am the change. I am the change, and we are the change. So love life, love the journey, and create the life and the experience that you want. And make your mark and your difference in whatever little corner that you are in. So I'm grateful for this journey. I'm grateful for how much I have learned and grown and evolved. I'm grateful for who I am today, who I'm being today, and the choices that I'm making on my journey. And, if I'm grateful for anyone who is listening and growing, evolving from me. And if you want any help with healing or anything like that, you can reach out to me and I can help you with that, whatever it may be, and free of judgments, whatever, that we all have it within us to do that inner work and that healing. And sometimes we need that help though. And so my links and email will be in the bio. So enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy the experience that you have chosen to have because it is yours. So we're going to play this song called Open Your Eyes. I think is a very good one for this, that many spend their whole lives searching for something that's within them, but they're too distracted looking at the physical reality, and the way to get there is by looking within. Love you.
Most people don't realize this, but we're not all living in the same reality. We're all walking this earth, but we're living in different dimensions. When you're in the lower dimensions, you believe in a God outside of you. You say things like, "Thank you, Jesus," and "Thank you, God," up there. And that's okay, because that's the level you're at. It's part of the journey. But when you go through a Kundalini awakening, when your spirit truly begins to rise, something shifts. You don't just believe in Christ, you become aware of the Christ within you. You stop thanking something outside of you, and you begin to awaken to the power that was always inside you. Christ consciousness isn't about religion. It's a frequency, a higher awareness. It's when you realize God lives in you. You see, people argue because they live in different dimensions, and they don't understand each other. Some still live in the 3D where everything is fear, control, separation. You're over here trying to speak light, truth, oneness, and they look at you like you're crazy. That's because you're not speaking the same language of consciousness. When you awaken, you rise. You begin to see the world through God's eyes, not man's. And that's why we say not everyone will get you. Not everyone is supposed to, because not everyone has risen yet. But your job is not to prove it, your job is to live it. Let your vibration speak louder than your voice. Thank you for following us at Awakening the Empaths, where truth is spoken without fear.
You could spend a lifetime searching. Everything you want is disappearing. Walking through the haze in a daydream, reaching for a end that you can't see. I know it's hard to believe. The wait is over. Open your eyes. Now is the time. All that you know is changing. Open your eyes.
You ain't got a chance. Trying to go to war with the champ. Trying to go back, but you can't. Now it's only one king, I'm the man. Anybody wanna step to the plate? Better go and get one thing straight. I don't freeze and I won't hesitate. Matter of fact, y'all been running in place, can't run from your fate. Who's gonna stop me? 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 Yeah, who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? So electrical, charged up, shocking every second like a billion volts. Now we hyperactive, you don't want no static. I was born for battle, finger on the pulse. Y'all paper plastic while I go Jurassic. So far from average, running with the raptors like a slay Goliath, steady moving silence. So in other words, I am the boss. Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? I am the boss. Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Yeah, who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? I just look at the world, such a sight to behold. Most of the stories will never get told. Been on my own for so long, I don't know what else to do, pray I don't lose my soul. Walking through fire till I'm numb to the coast. Coming for everything, diamonds and gold. Nothing to lose, all in my control. And I'm about to go savage, so don't say I won't. And I'm destined for greatness. Ain't no fabrication, ain't no time for waiting. Super fundamental, I can see them hating. Ain't a scrimmage, steady winning. I ain't quitting from the start to finish. Been in motion, this is physics. Never slowing, never getting with it. I ain't quitting from the start to finish. And I gotta wonder, really fine slipping in. Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me?